Okay, so today is February 14th, and we started our mushrooms on February the 4th. So, in a matter of 10 days, we have brought both our blue oyster mushrooms and our pink oyster mushrooms to harvest. And I had to say, it happened a lot quicker than I expected. And these are just like the okra of the mushroom world, really, because if you don't keep an eye on them, they go from being ready to over ready to not usable, just like that. Now, I do believe we're about to harvest the blue oyster ones. I'm going to do that with you just in a few minutes. But I just wanted to mention a few things to you first. If you are looking for something to harvest quickly, just grow on your own, this is definitely it. Cost wise, I'm not sure if it's cost effective. The reason being that these type of mushrooms are not something that you're going to find in a market in our area. So there's no price comparison to really do. But what I am going to do is weigh both of our harvests, the pink oyster mushroom and the blue oyster mushroom, and keep a running tally of what we get per kit so that we can have kind of like a price per ounce by the end of these kits. So if you live in an area where pink oyster mushrooms and blue oyster mushrooms are found in a store, then you could be able to do a price comparison at, your grocery store or wherever, and have a better idea if this is something that's going to be cost effective for you. For us, it was just fun. And if you are a family that is homeschooling, this will be a very, very neat project to do with your young ones. Just really exploring the world of fungi and mushrooms and the spores and the pollen. I learned a lot just in these 10 days that I didn't know. So it's if you want to grow your knowledge, it's a fun little project to get into. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our blue oyster mushrooms harvested. So you can see that the color has changed from that last clip that we showed you. Instead of being that nice blue color, they've kind of turned rather a pale color, pale bluish gray color. And these are still edible according to what I've researched. But of course, the fresher you harvest anything, the better the flavor is going to be. So let me pull you back out here. And we'll go ahead and get these guys harvested. And just like before, I'm just gonna pull it off of the substrate basically. Boom. Okay. And this part here on the back, that fuzzy wuzzies right there, we're gonna cut that off. The baby one's there. And then the rest of this will be edible. Now this is what we're looking like. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's see. I feel like these are a little bit heavier. So I have you out of frame, but right now I'm literally just cutting off that substrate part with the sawdust in it. These don't feel as spongy as the pink ones did. So me and my daughter, we both have an issue with the texture of the mushrooms. So perhaps these may be one that we can tolerate a little bit better. See, that's kind of dry there. All right. Okay, I'm gonna zero out our scale bowl on first, then zero it out. And we'll see how much we got off this first flush. All right. Beautiful babies in there. All right, guys. Let me make sure that's sitting all the way down. That puts us at 10.2 10.92 ounces. Okay, 10.92 ounces. So if we get nothing else for the we don't get a second flush from the blue oysters, then these would be 10.93 ounces. It would be $30 per 10 ounces. There we go. Because this kit costs $30. There's really no additional, you know, I'm not going to count time or anything like that, because literally all it was spraying it with a little spritz once or twice a day and then harvesting. So I'm just going to write this in my notes here. 10.93 ounces. And so my information may not be entirely accurate. It may be off by a few ounces when it comes to the pink oyster mushroom, because I did forget to weigh it initially and it has gone into the refrigerator. So obviously there's some moisture that will have collected on it, and so it may be a little heavier than it was when it went into the refrigerator because of the moisture content. But let me go grab those right quick and we can get you some numbers on that one as well. All right. I'm gonna package these the same way. Just gonna wrap them in paper towel and put them in the plastic bag. And I'm thinking of it, since we did wrap the other ones in paper towel, they may not have as much moisture as I thought. Let's see. Yeah, that paper towel is pretty moist. I may change that out. And they're not, I don't know if they're holding up good or not. I see some shriveling here on these edges. We better go ahead and cook these like today. So, oh, let me zero out the scale. Let's see what we get. Okay, so for the pink oysters, we got 4.91 ounces. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, since we did have them refrigerated for a few days prior to weighing. My bad on that, but that's what we got. And yeah, I'm gonna suggest that hubby cook these up tonight. We harvested some broccoli. We had some broccoli that went to seed and have the most beautiful yellow flowers, and they are so pretty. The yellow flowers are just so cute to me, but they're also edible. So if you have that happen, you know, just throw them on a salad, or you can even cook them if you want to. Chop the stems up and saute it up just like you would like a stem, not a stem broccoli. Yeah, like a stem broccoli. So, you know, it's not a total waste. Right now we have ours sitting on the dining room table, just kind of beautifying the dining space. And every now and then I'll walk by and grab a flower to snack on. All right, so you put these back in the fridge, and hopefully hubby will get around to cooking them tonight. It'll be really good with like some onion and that broccoli. It'll be really, really good. So just some final numbers for you guys. So after harvesting our mushrooms, we have a little bit of data for you guys in case this is something you're interested in doing at home with your family, with your kids, just for yourself. We started our mushrooms on February the 4th, and we harvested our first bunch of pink oyster mushrooms on February the 12th. We could have harvested them 2 days earlier, but time got away from me, and so we harvested those on the 12th instead of the 10th, and we got a total of 4.91 ounces from our pink oyster mushrooms. Next, we have our blue oyster mushrooms. They also were started on February the 4th, and they were harvested today, February the 14th. but we could have harvested them on February the 11th. Today they did have notable changes in the color. They became more pale than they were on the day that we could have harvested them. So we had a total of 10.93 ounces from that particular harvest. So now we will be doing a second flush on both of these. I've sprayed them and we're going to watch them and see what happens. As it stands, these are our totals. I'm going to hold on to this and we will do a running total for each kit in the finality of things. Stay tuned.